So the saga of the family court judges versus the Judicial Investigation Commission continues. There are almost daily updates on this matter. It's really crazy. And this pertains to the now infamous family court judge search case that involves my client, Matt Gibson, who had his house searched by a family court judge about a year after his divorce case on a petition for contempt by his ex-wife, and had his home searched under the threat of arrest. You can watch the video. I'll post it in the description if you haven't seen it by now. Now, since then, there have been some crazy developments. The Judicial Investigation Commission filed formal charges against this judge based on that conduct, and also having done it to other people over the course of 20 years. Now, through her attorney, she agreed to be disciplined, and to a certain fine. And before that process was completed, there was a family court judge who is on the Judicial Hearing Board, which had to approve it before it went to the Supreme Court, who objected to the whole process and tried to claim that this was constitutional and permissible and legal conduct by a family court judge. And now he's apparently brought all or a majority of the other family court judges around the state of West Virginia. And now they have taken steps to intervene into the pending disciplinary case, which is just crazy. And they've tried to get the disciplinary prosecutors fired. And they've taken steps to hire a lawyer and to file or attempt to file an amicus brief, a friend of the court brief, in this pending disciplinary case against one of their colleagues. Really just a crazy deal. And they're operating in secret as a, quote, voluntary organization. And so a majority of their members apparently voted to do this. And which, according to the judicial canons, the rules of ethics for judges, that might be in and of itself an ethical violation. So I sent a FOIA request to their attorney to request, among other things, the actual roll call of who voted. And I think the public has a right to know of who voted to interfere in this case and to try to get prosecutors fired. Now, these are all duly elected, presiding family court judges around the state of West Virginia. I have information that they actually engaged in these activities using government employees, using their government offices, and using their government email addresses. Now, they're trying to claim, and you can see if you post a link click the link in the description, and you can review all these documents for yourself on the website, thecivilrightslawyer.com. You can see where their lawyer is making the case that they are completely unaccountable to the public, that they don't have to hand over anything. They don't have to disclose to us who the sitting family court judges are in West Virginia, who have potentially committed ethical violations by trying to interfere into a pending case that does not involve them, and also trying to get prosecutors fired to protect their colleague. This is just really, really unbelievable conduct, and they're operating in secret and trying to keep it secret. Yet they're using taxpayer-funded employees, taxpayer-funded offices and email accounts to engage in this behavior. This is almost like saying that, all right, politicians, say Hillary Clinton, instead of, like her secret server. So Hillary Clinton, like, who knew? She could have just formed a, quote, voluntary association with other members of her conspiracy, or other members of her party or of the administration that just wanted to operate in secret and not be accountable to the public via FOIA. Well, she didn't have to set up her separate server. She could have just formed, the association of, past and current secretaries of state or whatever, and traded all the emails, exchanged all the emails that she wanted, and never would have been accountable to the public. Of course, that would not work. That is absurd. But that's basically what they're trying to do here. So there's a lot of information, and rather than me try to go through it in a video, you're just going to have to look at it yourself. At the core of all this is, are we going to allow a group of judges to be completely unaccountable and to bully the judicial disciplinary prosecutors, the Judicial Investigation Commission, into removing all accountability and judicial disciplinary investigation and prosecution? I mean, if they get their way, I think the consequences are going to be staggering as far as the integrity of the courts, especially the family courts, which have enough problems as it is. And at the same time, they're all, what else are they interfering with? Also, we have a pending civil rights lawsuit, a Section 1983 lawsuit, which they actually mention in their brief. And so we have this group of judges avoiding accountability or attempting to. I'm going to do something about this. And the remedy is if they don't comply with the FOIA request, you file a lawsuit and they'll be responsible for attorney fees. So what this is all going to come down to is looking at the wording of the FOIA statute. Do they fit within the category? I think that they do. Now, the other thing that could be done here is, I know who the president of this family law association is. I can direct a FOIA request just direct to his office. Now, not going through the association, since I've received information that he used his office, his secretary, his email account to forward this information to the Supreme Court. There can be no claim that this is a voluntary organization anymore. He's acting from his presiding seat. So this is just a bizarre situation. Again, there's two cases. There's the pending Supreme Court case, the disciplinary case, and then there's the pending federal lawsuit. And what I was going to say is, at the core here, what are we really fighting about above and beyond judicial accountability? Well, we're fighting about the Fourth Amendment. We're fighting about the Fourth Amendment. Is the family court, a family court judge, exempt from the Fourth Amendment? Does it have these crazy tyrannical powers that no other judge has? There's no way. Do you lose all of your constitutional rights? Do you lose your Fourth Amendment rights when you become a litigant into family court? No, you do not. You do not. But that's what this cabal of family court judges is trying to get from the West Virginia Supreme Court, is they're trying to get a ruling, and that's why they're filing this amicus brief. They're trying to get the West Virginia Supreme Court to declare that family court judges can engage in this sort of behavior. And can you imagine what would happen, how much they would be emboldened if this were allowed to happen, if they did get a ruling such as this? So, as often happens to me in my practice, one thing can start out, a case can start out as one thing, and it can just morph, unintentionally by me, into this crazy monster that's threatening to engulf all of our civil rights. Kind of like the Michael Walker case, the AR-15 open carry case, which started off relatively simple, and now all of a sudden it's turned into a gun grab by the government. And what you have here is an attempted power grab by a group of elected family court judges, and they don't even have to go on record as to which ones they are. They don't have to go on record at all, because they're operating in secret as a part of this supposed voluntary organization. Well, they're going to have to go on record. I don't care. I don't care how difficult it is. I don't care if I can never go in a family court anywhere in the state ever again. I'm going to find out. And I'm going to find out who they are, and they're going to have to go on the record, or they're going to have to back off. So just a crazy case. You can read all these documents at the link in the description, and I'm sure there will be another update video here pretty soon. And at the same time, if you're wondering what's happening And the civil rights lawsuit, the Section 1983 lawsuit pending in federal court, well, they had filed motions to dismiss, and the judge is asserting judicial immunity. And we've briefed that. I've responded, and right now we're waiting for the federal judge to rule on that. Hopefully that goes our way. If it doesn't, we'll go to the Fourth Circuit. And if it does, we'll proceed with discovery in that case. So stay tuned for updates.